Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started for the last little bit this afternoon. So Mark's kind of walked you through this is what essential questions are, this is why they're important. Jen walked you through, this is how you write them, this is kind of how you design them for your classroom. And now I have the easy part of the day, which is to talk to you about how they actually get implemented in the classroom. There's been a lot of research about you can have the greatest essential question or guiding question ever, and then accidentally sabotage that through some of the teacher moves that you use in your classroom. So we're going to spend some time this afternoon and the time that we've got left talking about those teacher moves in our classrooms that make all of your hard work that you've done previous to me this morning really pay dividends in the classroom. So this is kind of the goals of this section. We're going to talk about ways that teachers are successfully using them in their classroom. We're going to talk about how teachers can establish a culture of inquiry in their classroom. And then finally kind of brainstorm ideas. If you bump into something that, you ask a great question and then you hear crickets in the room, we're going to brainstorm some strategies to help the challenges that come with implementation. So to get us started off, to get us kind of thinking about that, what I would like you guys to do in your groups at your table, I provided you two sheets of, because you're talking to the math girl now, you get like the fancy paper with like graph coordinate grids on it. And in case you thought you were going to be graphing things, you're not. You're going to just be making some nice lists. So what I would like you to do is to kind of think about if you were to walk into a classroom, whether it's yours or somebody else's, and a teacher is successfully implementing questioning strategies in their classrooms. What does it look and sound like? And what are its implications for you as the teacher, for the students, and for learning? So the good news on one sheet, and then the not so good news on the other sheet. If you were in a classroom and the teacher was struggling with that, what might that look and sound like? What are its implications for you as a teacher, for the students, and for learning? We're going to start with the positive, and we're going to kind of build on the good stuff. And then near the end, we're going to talk about, okay, if you do happen to see that classroom, or it is your classroom, how might we build in some strategies to help you when things aren't going the way that you had planned? Okay? So I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes to work through the good and the bad on two separate charts. And then we're going to kind of work through your ideas for the rest of our time together. Okay? All right, go ahead and get started.